we'll thank you for the time being, and we'll move on to Nathan. Nathan from Jockey Cam, one of our own, co-founder of Jockey Cam, over from England, now based over here, aren't you, Nathan? I think you are, aren't you?
I am. I live here, yeah, it's great, yeah. So
we lost the good egg from the UK
thank you, bud. Thank
over here to America, but take it away, Nathan.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for your time. And it's great, it's a pleasure to be here and discuss two of my favourite things, which is horse racing and fan engagement. I see a few familiar faces here, some of you from across the pond, and for those of you that don't know me, my name is Nathan Horrocks. I'm a former professional jockey and now co-founder of Equine Productions and Jockey Cam. Sorry, Josh. In 2012, when we first started on this journey, our goal was to show horse racing in a new way that would engage and inspire audiences within and outside of the sport. From award-winning documentaries to TV commercials and features, innovative filming techniques and getting people's attention was always at the forefront of our minds. Here is an example of some of those things I'm going to be discussing and the technology using to get more eyeballs on our sport.
Do you think you have the courage to ride a half-ton thoroughbred? Jockey Cam taking you right into the action.
This is fabulous because you can get into his mind and wonder what he's thinking.
Coming in.
And they're off. There's the roar from the crowd. Top of the stretch, and he's in cruise control.
The only thing you're missing right now is dirt flying in your face.
Fox's tail has burst through on the far side.
Pumping for the weekend ahead. Yeah. Absolutely. Over the years, sports fans have always had the desire to see and experience the perspective of their favourite athletes. And there has been many attempts along the way. This guy had all the angles covered. And only Steve McQueen could make this setup look cool. But what we wanted to create was something that could be used on a regular basis, something that could be that could have the capability to transmit live images for broadcast and streaming. In order to do that, the camera needed to be light, it needed to be safe, and it also needed to be easy for the rider to wear. What we created was a 6-ounce safety-approved live broadcast camera that could put audiences amongst the action. In the US today, we now deliver 370+ live race days, giving channels like FanDuel TV, NBC Sports, the capability of utilising these POV images. This has also led us into other sports like rugby with our ref cam, motorsport, and just recently golf with our new caddy cam. So how is it used and what are the benefits? One way is live, picture-in-picture or second screen, which I will come on to later. And then the other is post-race analysis. This gives broadcasters the ability to show audiences the narrative of how a race is won or lost, but it also helps the audiences understand what it's like to control these athletes making those split-second decisions. We also make these pictures available to the stewards, to the jockeys, trainers, coaches and owners for their own analysis, proving that this technology is very valuable, a valuable tool to the rest of the sport. Here's an example from our friends at FanDuel TV.
So Cam and the Jockey Cam, bottom right-hand corner. This will be a great view. Let's roll it and see it from JJ's perspective. I mean, he's all dressed up with nowhere to go. He's just sitting there waiting for a seam, and there's nothing in front of him. Not only that, they're going to start coming back into him. They're closing in from the outside. Simon, great ride from Juan.
Yeah, and look at the bottom right-hand screen. If that rail doesn't drop away there, that temporary rail, I don't think he wins this race. We've seen so many races over the years at Del Mar 1 with this move.
Yeah, a great example there from FanDuel TV. They utilise this, this analysis quite a lot, and it's great they've been working with those guys this year. We heard earlier Carl talking about how we've been bringing data to our screens, and what we've been doing recently is working with GMAX and TPD to give us more data on screen, to give our fans a little bit more insight into and how to ride a race. You know, we've got speed here, we've got speed and position, but we're also implementing the percentage chance of our horse can win, which is something that I'm really excited about taking into the future of our sport. Social media, we all have it in our lives, whether we like it or not, but on screen you can see a few examples of many of the comments that we get from when we share Jockey Cam replays. Some of the comments we get are great, and as you can see on screen here, the ones I appreciate, being a former jockey, is the comments about the skill set of the rider. What we also like to do is try and raise the profile of jockeys, and we will continue to do that. It's something that I am very, very passionate about. We also found when sharing Jockey Cam replays that there was a 297% uplift in viewing figures on social media compared to a normal race replay. So there definitely is an audience out there for this type of content. Now then, we released our TikTok channel a few months ago, and I'm sure there's many TikTokers in here in the room, and if you're not a TikToker, you should be and following us. But what we did when we first released our TikTok channel, we put a clip from when we first started the company in 2015, and this clip reached 1.9 million views in only a few days, and this is an example of it now.
Can I get you now? Can I get up? No. Right. Yeah, go on. Whew. Okay. Yeah.
A loose horse, I cause the trouble, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Never mind. Thanks for the shout, lads. I'll go grab one of these loose horses. Here, give us one, lad. Oh, it's my lad. Hey, Benny. Whoa, pal. Hey, buddy. Hey. What's up? Sorry about that. You alright? Not too bad, was it?
Yeah, a great example there of the bravery of our athletes, but also the love that our human athletes give their equine partners. Certainly something we wouldn't have captured without these POV cameras. Second screen, I mentioned it earlier. I'm a huge Formula One fan. I have been for years, long before Drive to Survive brought F1 to the mass market. Unfortunately, I don't have time or the money to go, but every time there's a Formula One race, I can be a digital fan like millions of others around the world. Every time there's a race on, I can be on the app, I can watch any of the angles that are on the F1 app, I can watch features, interviews, but I can also choose any of the angles that the F1 app gives us, which is what we're wanting to do moving forward. Okay, John. Yeah, so we can use things like, big screen TVs and also on screen here, like we see here.
Oh, Walla Princess closing on the outside. Pizza Bianca's coming on through too. It's a wild finish here. Also coming is Haughty. Who's it going to be? Pizza Bianca gives Christophe Clement his first Breeders' Cup. And then it was Malavan, followed by Haughty.
I'm sure we can all agree, for those people that weren't lucky enough to be at the Breeders' Cup this weekend, sitting at home, they could, watch the view from the horse that they bet on going forward. I mentioned it earlier about storytelling, and Drive to Survive. What we found with what Drive to Survive has done for the sport of Formula One is the fact that they've brought it to the mass market is the fact that they've been using storytelling to get, reach new audiences. Last year, Equine Productions created a 4-part documentary series with Amazon Prime following trainer Andrew Baldwin throughout a racing season. What we were keen to do was kind of lift the curtain on the sport that we're involved with and give audiences a real insight into how our sport works, but more importantly, the love and care that our equine athletes receive, and also showing the characters that work within it. Here's a clip from episode 4, which shows the importance of having access and collaboration from the sport, which will help filmmakers tell better stories.
At the 1.25 mile start, and they're off for the Golden Gates Handicap. 1 or 2 riders really driving their mounts along. Frankie Dettori wants to get really handy on King Frankel, and Fox's Tails in the hands of Oisin Murphy, the back marker.
It was really rough in front of me. I ended up going back to the fence.
It was a very, very nervous moment. It was sat stone cold last.
Towards the rear, Irish Legend, and lastly, Fox's Tails.
Oisin's a racing animal. He has an ability to really enjoy the moment. He loves being in a race. Time slows down for him. He can see things happening.
We're going at 40 miles an hour. I can't afford to second guess. It has to be split second, and I have to be decisive and believe in myself. So I just said, oh, it's going to open up in the straight and just let him go. When I gave him the hurry up, he really took off.
Fox's Tails will go for a run up the far side from Irish Legend. Fantastic. Fox comes back to the field. King Frankel and Visualization challenging down the outside. Visualization doing well. And Fox's Tails has burst through on the far side. Oisin Murphy is clear on the far side. Visualization, then King Frankel and Irish Legend. Fox's Tails now veering violently left-handed, but out clear by 3 lengths. And Fox's Tails goes on to win. And Oisin Murphy will be the leading rider at Royal Ascot 2021.
Wow, what a ride by Oisin, and what late drama as well. Oisin manages to get him past the post in first place, and he is the leading rider here at Royal Ascot.
Yeah, definitely one of my favourite moments creating that 4-part documentary series that we created with Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime were actually very impressed with the click-through rate of this series that we created, and what that basically means, anybody that did click on episode 1 stayed with it all the way through to episode 4. So, and they're very interested to see where we're going to be going within that space. Something else that we've been creating over the last 18 months is the Jockey Cam VR experience. Being a former jockey, I've always wanted to help audiences understand the thrill of riding in a race, and to give them something that was fully immersive and authentic. In order to do that, we needed to utilise 360-degree technology. Unfortunately, these 360-degree cameras are too big and heavy for jockeys to use in a real race. So what we had to do with our 10 years experience of being content providers was recreate a race using real horses and real jockeys. And here is an example of that.
They're in the gate.
We're excited to be here at Santa Anita Park.
And they're off.
They continue down the back straight here. The big crowd anticipating a big finish.
4 left to jump. Now we start hearing some speed.
They're inside the 3 now, and the pace is building all the
Lady
time.
Noguez looking for room on the far outside.
Wonderful side noses ahead.
Finishing strongly on the outside.
But it's the 7-year-old to win the Coral Welsh Grand National.
Yeah, I have to say it's very infectious watching people use that experience, and Nick and Becca are going to be here today, and feel free to have a go at that today and later on in the break, and also it's going to be provided in the main room at main grandstand, sorry, at the British Cup on Friday and Saturday. Within those 18 months, what we've been doing is rolling this out around the racetracks. First, and the Breeders' Cup have been utilising it across many of the racetracks, and one thing that we did do this year was we had it at the Preakness this year, and over 1,500 people used this experience, which goes to show that it's, it is a very popular experience to use. But it doesn't stop there. We don't always have to bring people to the racing. We can take racing to the people. And well, that's what this technology has enabled us to do. We can also utilise this technology by taking it to trade shows, also other things like other sporting events, and also something that I'm very passionate about, which is schools. This is a picture here from the school that my wife works at, and I took this to her local school, and half of these kids didn't even know what a jockey was, never mind what horse racing was. And as you can see on the screen there was many thank you notes after that, and it really does engage a younger audience, which we were chatting about earlier. The younger generation are the customers of the future, and this tech definitely enables to show them the essence of our sport, and it certainly helps them become the fans of the future. We all have our own stories of how we fell in love with the sport. I hope the work that we do continues to inspire more people to invest their time and money into the future of our sport. We all have a responsibility to make sure that racing reaches a wider audience, has transparency, has better welfare, but we also use whatever tools it takes to make sure that we leave racing in a better place than we found it. Thank you for your time, and I hope you all have a great Breeders' Cup.
I would have, I could sit and talk to you about fan engagement through TV. That's kind of my thing, and it's clearly very much your thing. I guess my question to you is, there's always a lot of comparisons, specifically more recently, about how horse racing can be more like Formula One in terms of, and you touched upon it there, in terms of what they can give to their audience and what viewing experience they can give. And one of those things that is talked about, the idea is kind of banded around about having the jockeys mic'd up so that they can talk to a base camp back at home. I mean, honestly, in the UK, maybe less so in America, you'll be able to tell me, but that idea has kind of been laughed at. Yet, we're surely not that far off that happening, are we? Like,
no.
Those sort of ideas, I am aware we have to be careful. Cars are not horses, horses are not cars. There's a big difference, and I think we do have to remember that. But at the same time, we're not scoffing at those ideas anymore. We're actually thinking they are coming. They're just coming a little slower than other sports.
Yeah, and it's something we're actually working on right now, and it's something we can provide. It's something I want to push forward. Transparency is key. If the fans don't trust us in our sport, they're not going to bet or buy tickets or come and watch our show. So we need more transparency, and sometimes it feels as though there's a big secret, like we've got a big secret to tell. So I think what we need to do is innovate and also give our audiences something that's entertaining to get more eyeballs on our sport.
I mean, it's just, again, I could talk to you for a long time, but we will have to move on. But can you imagine a time where you're watching a Breeders' Cup and you can hear the commentary between Aidan O'Brien and Ryan Moore in a race? I mean, you're laughing at it.
Oh,
but
in a great way.
I genuinely believe you have to think it first, you have to drive towards it, and that's exactly what you're doing, and it's not as far away as some people may think. Hopefully, anyway. Nathan, thank you very much. We must move on.
Thank you. Thank you.